This shit burns. I can't feel my tongue. You take full responsibility. This goes poorly.
Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Spicy Nugs, where we ask spicy questions over spicier and spicier nuggets. Today I'm joined with Jennifer Lee. She's a pre-law stud, founder and executive director of the Asian Americans with Disabilities Initiative, and is on a first-name basis with President Biden. How's it going, Jen?
I'm doing good, although I'm not sure if the last part would necessarily be true. I don't think he would.
I don't know, that's what a little birdie told me. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to go through these wings at a pace that, you know, both of us can handle. And yeah, if you can get through all 5 nuggets, then I will give you $10. And
$10?
at the end of the video, you will be able to pitch whatever you want to pitch, give you like 15 to 30 seconds to plug anything that you'd like.
Okay.
Let me put on my glove real quick.
This is genius. They do this at like the Korean fried chicken stores, and I think it's innovation that excites.
Yeah. That's a good phrase. Innovation that excites.
It's from Nissan.
Nissan?
Cheers.
Really? They do not excite me. Thoughts?
Yummy. It's like the Wendy's chicken nugget. The one that you pull at the drive-thru. Like after,
I don't think I've ever gotten a chicken nugget from Wendy's, but
like after every time I got 100 on like a math quiz when I was little, I would get treated with chicken nuggets.
yeah, like every other day.
Only if I got the extra credit though. But now what that did is it gave me like, it Pavloved me into thinking that chicken nuggets are a reward. And so I get so excited when I eat chicken nuggets from Wendy's because it makes me feel like I just got 100 on my math quiz. And that's effective parenting right there. Already the guava juice? We just started.
Dude, it's like a palate cleanser. How did you end up meeting President Biden?
I mean, for President Biden, I went to the White House twice this year. The first one was for the 32nd anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. And so that one was in October, I want to say. That was really fun because it was like 60 to 70 like disability activists from all around the nation, and they were celebrating this big like groundbreaking legislation that happened 32 years ago. It was President Joe Biden, it was First Lady Jill Biden, and they were going around shaking hands at the reception, and we got a selfie together. Most of the activists there were much older than I was, so I think I stuck out kind of like a sore thumb, but he was really fun to talk to. And then the second time I went to the White House was for the Biden holiday party in December, and so I brought my mom as my +1, and that one was just more for a networking event, even though I sat in the corner and ate chicken nuggets the entire time. Kind of like right now.
Dude, which one's better though?
Definitely this one.
Nice. Favorite short novel?
Is it bad that I haven't read a book in so long? I think being a public policy student, I've become illiterate. I've always really liked the Mysterious Benedict Society as a kid.
Those are good, yeah.
Yeah. It's the kind of book that makes you feel smart while you read it without doing any thinking yourself.
Yeah.
This felt manageable.
Yeah? You want to go on to the next one?
I'm scared. Cheers. Wow. What's your favorite short novel?
I know my least favorite short novel. Well, it's not a short novel, which is why I didn't like it.
What is it?
It's called The Hobbit. Freaking hated that book.
That shit's huge.
Yeah.
That shit's spicy.
Really?
Yeah.
Tastes good though.
It burns.
You're handling it well. Do you want to go to number 3?
I need to keep going so I don't feel it.
Okay, momentum.
Bowel movements afterwards are gonna be wild.
Yeah, I'm gonna see you tomorrow.
I think we should normalize talking about matcha shits and coffee shits.
Matcha shits? I've had coffee shits, but what are
matcha shits is what happened after Chunbi opened in Princeton, New Jersey. I think the entire population needs to talk about the damage that's been caused by ceremonial matcha.
I don't go to Junbi because it tastes like seaweed water, but like...
I think we should talk about it. I think it's important that we have these really tough conversations with the people that we care about. It's really spicy.
Yeah, everyone's where it starts.
Where it starts?
You want to play a quick word association game?
Yeah.
Apollo.
Rocket.
Breaking Bad.
Drugs.
Corn.
Hole.
What?
Hole.
Hole?
Cornhole, like the game.
The next one is service, please.
Draco.
Oh, that's a good one. That was a trap.
Why?
I thought you were gonna say Avada Kedavra, but Draco also works. Bicycle.
Inability.
So, I was digging some dirt up on you, yeah? It turns out, on this Yale page, you mentioned a fun fact is that I've never ridden a bike.
That is from 2016.
2017.
That's crazy.
Read that right there.
LMAO, she has never ridden a bike. Let's make her ride a bike. Forced me to go to Soul Cycle, so let's force her to cycle.
Let's go.
Right now?
Yep. I don't know if I can go, honestly. Like, I don't trust my bowel movement.
We can't be doing this.
I brought my butt. I'm going outside like this. Oh shit, Libby! The bike's at your dorm.
Yes!
No, let's bike up.
No! Wait, I can't express to you my the cortisol in my body right now is spiking at an all-time high. What do I do?
Libby, how should we teach her?
You take full responsibility if this goes poorly. You promise? Okay.
No, I got you.
Every fiber.
Well, do you believe?
No, I absolutely
Do you
don't.
believe?
I absolutely
Do you
don't.
believe?
I do believe.
You do believe. Alright, let's go.
Okay.
Wait, I have an idea. You hold this.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Okay, wait. And then go ahead, just push. Oh, it's falling. Okay, pedal.
You got it, you good?
I'm so fine. Oh!
This is actually really hard.
Yeah, the first time's the hardest.
But we can go reflect on this in the video.
Let's go. Did you enjoy that experience?
What a beautiful day outside.
It was a good day.
Take that as you will.
Not good with segues, but I saw that you interned in the office of Elizabeth Warren.
I did.
Did it hurt when she sucked your blood? Who are your role models in politics?
I was actually talking about this with someone. When I get sad and when I feel very not motivated, I'll watch the clip where Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez finds out she won her 2018 primary in New York, and I cry every single time. And that is the only way that I get myself to work. I don't know if she's a role model per se, but I like watching her win a lot. It feels like a very quintessentially young person winning. That or Barack Obama speeches. Because I've actually never met Elizabeth Warren, because I interned virtually. If you had looked at my LinkedIn a little bit closer, you would have found that it was actually in a remote setting.
Got you.
But the one time she did a virtual meet and greet with the interns, her dog threw up a hairball on camera live. And so while she's saying hello and speaking about the future of our generation, you hear this terrible retching sound in the background. She a homie.
She a homie?
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm all good on that. Oh, it's starting to hit me too, actually. So, you're going to law school in 2 years, yeah?
If everything goes according to plan.
So what are your plans? I'm like, there's a general consensus that, people thought government was super inefficient and that, in order to make change, they had to go and do it up themselves. I'm curious, to know your perspective on kind of that dichotomy.
What a scholarly question to ask. I can't feel my tongue. I think that there's no point in doing all this research if no one's in the government to actually make a difference about it. Thank you. I think you might actually be God. Most people in government, in politics, people are often motivated to embezzle at some point in their lives, right?
Yeah.
My lowest grade here was in ethics and public policy, and when my parents saw that on my transcript, they were like, did we not raise you right? They were like, what's good with you? They were like, why is this where you fall short? But
you're human.
We are human.
I feel like if you get an A in ethics and public policy, that begs a different question. I feel like how people perceive you on campus is that you're very much an activist.
Really?
Yeah.
It's news to me.
In terms of, kind of the change you want to see in the world, if you were to enact a law, one law, whether it has to do with politics or not, what would that be?
If I woke up as the disability czar of the United States tomorrow.
What does that mean? You dish out disabilities? Like
with disability benefits, maybe.
Benefits.
Because I think that works off the premise that everyone can be disabled. But start off with the premise that like maybe the future is disabled, or maybe all of us are disabled in some way or another.
Sure.
And it's just a matter of creating a world where everyone's more accommodating and more inclusive. Okay, I'm gonna go for the final bite.
Let's go.
But if I was to answer your question, I think the one law that I put into place, accommodations are enforced. Right now, I feel like if a place isn't accessible, you have to sue the place in order to make it into accessible. It's also a matter of like, how do you make sure you're making a more accessible and inclusive world without cutting out people who actually deserve benefits or need accommodations.
Are you ready for that last nugget?
I don't know how you're so fine right now. Okay, let's do it.
Cheers.
Oh, fuck.
So you run this thing called AADI,
Yeah.
right? Can you tell me a bit more about your decision to create something specifically dedicated to Asian American people with disabilities instead of just going into organizations that are already focused on disability awareness and then trying to grow out Asian American awareness within that organization?
It's a really good point. I think that's actually something I thought a lot about when I first started. I think part of it is that I never intended to start the organization by itself. This shit burns.
Yeah.
Why would you ever willingly put that back in your mouth? It wasn't supposed to be an organization. It was originally I'm fine. It was originally supposed to be one webinar that we were supposed to hold of like disabled Asian change makers to like uplift the work that they were doing. But afterwards, everyone reached out saying like, this is something that's very cool. We should maybe do another event, maybe have some more community here.
Safe word is Switzerland, by the way.
Libby just gets to watch us in pain right now. It's yummy.
Delicious, right?
You're just panting in anticipation. You're so excited to hear my story.
This is a cool story.
I think for me, I had a really hard time finding people to support the mission. I actually applied to, I think, like 20 different grants at Princeton to try and start it. And I got rejected every single time. I was told that I was too young and too inexperienced and that it was too niche and that no one would care about the cause. But all it took was one person to believe in the mission. So we applied to different scholarships outside of Princeton. So we looked at the Clinton Foundation, we started talking to Ford Foundation and Borealis Philanthropy. And so it turns out when you think a little bit bigger, like people are willing to give you the money and you could start it. And it actually doesn't take that much money to start something that you care about. We won a competition from Victoria's Secret. I think that helped a lot in terms of getting everything else off the ground. And I think what's crazy is that I think like a few months after we got like our major funders and once we started working with the Biden-Harris administration, Princeton reached out asking if they could feature like AADI for their May API Heritage Month content. When I tried to write a little bit about how I had to seek funding elsewhere, they cut it out and they revised it completely. Wow. I owe a lot to Princeton. I think this is my dream school. I'm very happy to be here. Every day I wake up and I'm grateful. But I think there's also a danger in romanticizing an institution. You're going for another bite?
I might finish it a little bit. Are you ready? I want to let you finish your statement.
I was going to say that I think people in the disability community don't always have access to places like these. I think that also implies like a lot of obligation to give that back in terms of like teaching the community and also like making sure you uplift other people who don't have resources. And so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens next. I'm kind of scared, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, you're almost there. I mean, safe word's always there.
That's true. Fear not.
Fear not.
That's our favorite line.
That is our favorite line. Can you explain to the audience what fear not means?
Stephen and I have a good friend named Richard, and anytime that we would, anytime someone would say anything, really, they would complain or they would be worried or anxious, Richard would pipe in from the back with a simple, fear not.
Fear not.
Fear not.
A couple days ago we were talking, and and you mentioned how you were obsessed with this writer on the New Yorker named Jenn.
Yes. Yes.
I write a lot about like feminism, how like social media impacts policy, and how we interact with different like changes in our lives.
You did your research.
A little bit. A lot of the people that are empowered to make changes and are in these seats don't really understand a lot of this, like these social media platforms or any of like these new technologies that are coming out. How should we find a middle ground there?
Catching me at a bad moment right now. I think that's a really good question. What I love about it is that it implies that there is a future in which that internet sense of how we are normalizing the internet and how we are leveraging that possibility as a norm. But I think that I would take it back a step and ask ourselves, everyone already makes fun of the old people that are in power, right? There's those like viral memes of like old congressional like representatives asking like, how does Facebook make money? And Zuckerberg goes, Senator, we run ads. And it's iconic and everyone who's grown up knows about it. But the truth is, I think that we should normalize what cultural capital and knowledge capital looks like at a young age, right? That means the step that we should do is we should give the people who are most familiar with the internet the chance to voice that in testimony and in fellowship roles in government, but also in terms of think tanks and other third parties.
Are you
I'm done. That's crazy.
Let's go.
I didn't think I was gonna finish. I'm crying inside.
To wrap up, I know you're a big fan of Gia Tolentino. If you had a message for her, what would that be?
It's like, I'm more nervous than I am meeting the President of the United States thinking about this. I would say, 1, I would love to get coffee sometime. Please, no matter where you are in the world, I will come find you. And 2, I would love to see you write a piece about disability, accessibility, and the future of where you see that entire movement and how we can see that from a feminist lens. I think that this is going to be one of the most pressing issues of our future, and having a voice like yours would make all the difference.
Let's hope that gets to Gia.
We'll try.
Thank you so much, Jenn.
Cheers.
You deserve knowledge.
As it comes up.
If you'd like to plug something, you have
I've
creative
earned it.
freedom to say whatever you want.
Should I do the classic flight attendant pitch? The one
Sure,
that I do for other
yeah.
ones?
I don't know what safety pitch you're gonna do, but have a way.
Consider joining the Asian Americans with Disabilities Initiative. You might have mentioned Steph and talk about this, but we are a 501c3 nonprofit that aims to amplify the voices of disabled Asian Americans nationwide. We encourage volunteers. We work on a grassroots level for people who identify as disabled or Asian American. Come join our team. You can find us at aadinitiative.org. That's us. And that's it. We're done.
Yeah. Sure.